Hi everyone, I'm uniquely Mia, also known as Mia, and welcome back to Criminal Justice 101 Perspective and Policies class. In this video, we'll be going over the Ferguson effect. So did you know that the way in which we perceive police officers in society and their knowledge of the public's perception of them can thus change the way police officers react and complete their job? In addition to their willingness to help individuals in society? If you didn't, stay tuned, watch this video, and you can learn more about why that happens in society. The Ferguson effect is the idea that officers in society may not fully serve their community or be willing to help a specific demographics of individuals because they believe that if they were to help a specific group of individuals, because of media scrutiny, if the officers or the police department makes an error, then they know that they will have a lot of media scrutiny and negative press or publications. So therefore, police officers aren't always willing to complete their job and take the initiative to cater to individuals in modern society. Ferguson effect is used. There are two schools of thoughts that's often associated with it. So first, officers are less inclined to engage in proactive policing due to fear of negative publicity, scrutiny, and a lack of support or public cooperation, while the criminal elements feel empowered and has become more brazen. Also, within the Ferguson effect, the second idea is that public's trust in law enforcement officers has decreased, which has thus caused people in the public to be less willing to report crimes to these police officers and to reach out to police officers to request assistance when they feel that they are in dangerous situations. The idea of the Ferguson effect first emerged in St. Louis in 2014 when multiple riots were happening. It was an increase in crime around that area. So it made it seem like there weren't enough officers to respond to the crimes that were occurring. So it caused people in society to develop the perception that police officers aren't willing and they're not completing their job accurately and ethically. The effect is very negative because people in society, they're not going to be willing to cooperate with police officers 9 times out of 10. They're not going to be willing to call officers when they need emergency assistance for help because they don't think the officers are going to complete their job. The Ferguson effect can also decrease the likelihood of police officers being willing to engage in community initiatives such as community-based policing or use predictive policing models and reaching out to the community, things like that. So therefore, to avoid the Ferguson effect from occurring, both police officers and police departments, as well as people in society, should take efforts to develop a positive image of police officers. This can often be done via community policing and ensuring that police officers and community leaders work together. An example of this is saying if a festival is happening in a borough in New York City, let's say a festival is happening in New York City, Queens, New York. So obviously a lot of police officers are going to be at that festival to ensure that the safety of the individuals and the festival. You should encourage police departments to have these police officers volunteer to help community leaders and to help community members set up for the event. There should be opportunities for police officers to engage with community members in a positive way. There should be also an opportunity for people in society, the positive aspect of what police officers do and how police officers complete their jobs and roles in society. This can be done particularly by the media. 9 times out of 10, when people in society hear about police officers' behavior in the media, it's often from a negative connotation, a negative perception, and promoting the negative that police officers do. So the media should also promote the positive behaviors and the ethical behaviors that police officers engage in. Because think about it this way, if only the negative is promoted, 9 times out of 10, that is what people is going to latch on. So the media should still promote the negative that happens in police departments, but the positive should also be promoted. Ultimately, the Ferguson effect emerged in 2014 after the fatal shooting of Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri. Particularly, the Ferguson effect reduces the likelihood that officers will engage in proactive policing practices. And when officers do not engage in proactive policing opportunities, this is very negative and disastrous for communities because there is no crime prevention model that is being followed. So to ensure that this doesn't happen in the future, people in society need to develop a more positive image of police officers and be more made aware that you can trust police officers to at least protect you if you call them. And additional training is needed within police departments to ensure that they are not relying on implicit biases, blame, stereotypes when they are completing their job, and to ensure that they are receiving effective training to ensure that they are acting ethically within their role as officers.